The loneliness tax: why retirees spend too much and how to stop. An opening note of reflection. Have you ever found yourself reaching for your wallet, not because you needed something, but because your heart felt empty? Maybe the house feels too quiet now. The days stretch long, and the silence echoes louder than before. You scroll through your phone, and suddenly, there it is, a tempting buy, a little escape, a momentary comfort. But then, the fleeting joy fades, replaced by a whisper of regret. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many retirees face a hidden struggle: emotional overspending driven by loneliness. It's a quiet companion that creeps in after the busy years of work and routine have ended. Today, we're going to explore this deeply human experience, why it happens, what science tells us, and most importantly, how to transform it into connection, purpose, and true fulfillment. Because retirement isn't just an ending, it's a beginning. The awakening moment. Hello, I'm Ordinary People, your online neighbor and fellow retiree on this unpredictable journey of aging. I'm not here as an expert from some ivory tower, but as a companion who understands the quiet moments of reflection and the search for new meaning after retirement. Before we move on to the next chapter, please subscribe for more reflections on finding meaning, joy, and purpose in the seasons of life. Today, we focus on a challenge many don't talk about openly: emotional overspending caused by loneliness. This is not about financial advice alone, it's about the heart and mind, about how we fill the spaces left behind when work, roles, and routines change. In this session, you will learn why loneliness after retirement can lead to spending beyond our means, what science reveals about emotional needs and aging, practical, compassionate strategies to replace impulsive spending with meaningful connection and purpose. Together, we'll weave stories, research, and advice into a path forward. Let's begin with a powerful insight from decades of research on what truly makes life meaningful. The Awakening of Curiosity. Dr. Robert J. Waldinger, director of the Harvard Study of Adult Development, has spent over 85 years studying what makes a happy, healthy life. His findings are both simple and profound. It's not wealth, not fame, but the quality of our relationships that matter most. He says, good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. But what happens when retirement disrupts these relationships? When the daily interactions at work disappear and old roles fade away? The social fabric that once held us tight can feel fragile. Loneliness may creep in, not just as a feeling, but as a risk to our health and well-being. Dr. Laura Carstensen, a leading psychologist in aging, explains loneliness as more than sadness. It's a slow poison that affects the brain and body. Her research on socio-emotional selectivity theory shows that as we age, our emotional needs sharpen. We crave deeper, more meaningful connections, but when those are missing, the void can feel unbearable. And this void often drives us to seek comfort in ways that don't heal, like emotional spending. Buying things becomes a way to momentarily fill the emptiness, to replace warmth with possessions. Dr. Ken Dykewald, a gerontologist and author, reminds us that retirement is a major life transition. He says, it's not just about stopping work, it's about redefining who you are. This redefinition is hard, and sometimes the easiest escape is the one that empties our wallets but not our hearts. But there is hope. Science also shows us that loneliness can be healed, not with things, but with connection, purpose, and new habits. Insight 1. Replace emotional spending with meaningful interaction. One of the most powerful ways to counter emotional overspending is to replace it with meaningful social interaction. Dr. Nancy Schlossberg, an expert in adult transitions, calls this replacing lost roles with new connections. When loneliness tempts you to shop, ask yourself, who can I reach out to instead? Practical steps. Schedule regular meetups or calls with friends, family, or community groups. Even 1 or 2 days a week dedicated to connection can make a difference. If mobility or distance is a challenge, use phone calls or video chats to stay connected. A heartfelt conversation can nourish your soul far more than a package delivered to your door. Consider volunteering. Giving your time and skills to others creates a sense of purpose and belonging that no purchase can match. Dr. Waldinger highlights that the warmth of human connection is a natural antidote to loneliness. It's not about quantity, but quality. Even small, sincere interactions can rebuild the social fabric that retirement may have unraveled. Instead of reaching for your wallet, reach for a phone, a neighbor, a friend. Insight 2. Create an emotional budget. Dr. Mo Wang, a scholar of retirement and well-being, offers a fresh perspective. After retirement, managing your emotions is as important as managing your finances. He encouraged retirees to create an emotional budget. This means recognizing the feelings that trigger spending and developing alternative ways to meet those emotional needs. Practical steps. Before making a purchase, pause and ask, am I buying this because I need it or because I feel lonely? Keep a journal or log of your spending triggers. Is it late at night? After a meal alone? After scrolling social media? Awareness is the first step toward change. Develop small rituals to replace the urge to spend. A warm cup of tea, a short walk outside, listening to your favorite music, or writing in a journal. Dr. Becca Levy's research on emotional health and aging shows that simple habits can rewire our brain's response to stress and loneliness. By budgeting your emotions, you give yourself permission to feel and respond in healthier ways. This practice transforms impulsive spending into mindful self-care. Insight 3. Build a new purpose beyond yourself. Purpose is a powerful anchor in retirement. Dr. Richard Leiter, a pioneer in life purpose coaching, calls it the compass that guides us. When we have a clear purpose, we spend less on fleeting pleasures and invest more in meaningful experiences. Practical steps. Identify a mission that excites you, whether it's mentoring younger generations, documenting family stories, or engaging in community projects. Write down 3 reasons you look forward to each day. Don't worry if it takes time. Purpose often reveals itself slowly. Remember, purpose doesn't have to be grand. Small acts of kindness or creativity can light the way. Dr. Leiter reminds us, purpose is the reason you get up in the morning. It's what makes life worth living. By focusing on purpose, you shift from filling a void to building a legacy. This shift changes how you see your money, not as a tool for escape, but as a resource to support what truly matters. Insight 4. Cultivate mindfulness and gratitude. Mindfulness and gratitude are ancient practices with modern scientific backing. They help us stay present and appreciate what we have, reducing the urge to seek comfort in things. Dr. Lovra Carstensen's research shows that older adults who practice gratitude and mindfulness report higher emotional well-being and less loneliness. Practical steps. Start a daily gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you appreciate: simple moments, people, or even small comforts. Practice mindfulness through breathing exercises or gentle meditation. When feelings of loneliness or impulse arise, observe them without judgment. Engage fully in activities you enjoy, savoring the experience instead of rushing to the next distraction. Dr. Becca Levy notes that these practices can reshape our brain's pathways, making us more resilient to emotional triggers. Mindfulness turns the spotlight inward with kindness, helping you notice when spending impulses arise and gently choose a different path. Gratitude fills the heart with richness that no purchase can match. Insight 5. Foster intergenerational connections. One of the richest sources of connection and purpose in retirement can be found in relationships with younger generations. Dr. Ken Dykewald emphasizes that intergenerational bonds bring vitality and meaning to later life. Practical steps. Spend quality time with grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or young neighbors. Share stories, skills, or simply listen. Volunteer in schools, libraries, or youth programs where your experience can inspire and guide. Use technology to bridge distances, video calls, shared online projects, or even collaborative hobbies. Dr. Nancy Schlossberg points out that these connections remind us that we are part of a larger story beyond ourselves. Intergenerational ties create a sense of belonging and legacy, reducing feelings of isolation that often lead to emotional spending. They replace loneliness with laughter, learning, and love. The final light. Let's take a deeper look at why these strategies work through the lens of neuroscience and psychology. Dr. Becca Levy's research on aging and emotional health shows that loneliness activates the brain's stress centers, increasing cortisol levels and inflammation, physical markers of emotional pain. This chronic stress can fuel impulsive behaviors, including overspending as a coping mechanism. However, positive social interactions and purposeful engagement release oxytocin and dopamine, neurochemicals that promote feelings of safety, pleasure, and reward. Dr. Mo Wang explains that retirement is a neuroplastic period, meaning our brains are still capable of change and adaptation. This is hopeful news. It means habits formed in retirement can reshape emotional responses. Dr. Robert Waldinger adds that the brain's wiring for connection remains strong throughout life. We can build new social habits that protect us from loneliness. Understanding this science empowers us to be patient and compassionate with ourselves. Change is possible, and every small step toward connection rewires the brain for resilience. From knowing to becoming. As we come to the close of this journey together, remember this: loneliness is a part of life, but it does not have to define your retirement. If you've ever shopped to fill a quiet moment, know that you were seeking comfort in the only way you knew. There is no shame in that. But now you have new tools, science-backed, heart-centered, to transform that impulse into connection, purpose, and gratitude. Retirement is not an end, but a chance to rewrite your story. To find joy in relationships, to nurture your emotional budget, and to live with intention. Dr. Richard Leider's words echo here. The purpose of retirement is not to stop living, but to live with purpose. May you find warmth in human connection, strength in new habits, and peace in the richness of your days. Until the next reflection before we part, I want to leave you with a question to carry with you. What would your life look like if you replaced one impulse purchase with one meaningful connection? Imagine the ripple effect, not just in your bank account, but in your heart. Now I invite you to take one small step today. Reach out to someone you've been meaning to call. Join a local group or online community. Write down your purpose for this new chapter. Change doesn't happen overnight, but with each intentional choice, you reclaim your story. Remember the words of Johann Hari, who said, "The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. It is connection." And perhaps the most healing thing of all is a warm greeting, a shared smile, a hand extended in friendship. I'm Ordinary People, your neighbor in this journey. Let's walk forward together with open hands, open hearts, and a spirit ready to embrace the richness of life beyond spending. Thank you for sharing this time with me. May your retirement be filled with meaning, connection, and joy. Every click, every comment, every shared story weaves another thread into this tapestry of life. If you've found comfort here, please like, subscribe, and leave your voice in the comments. Your words may be the light someone else is searching for. Join our circle of reflection, hope, and belonging. Together, we rise beyond loneliness into a life rich with purpose. Asterisk.